Oh, it was a nightmare in some respects. I mean, like, I loved it, but at the same time, I was like, we're doing a red carpet? Like, that alone. I was told, prepare for a red carpet. It's formal. And you're going to be on one little segment where we're going to pan to you in the audience during one of our little bits before we introduce somebody. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I'm just thinking logistically what I got to prepare for. I got to prepare for a dress, which how many of those do I own? Right. So I went to Lane Bryant because, hey, they're upscale plus size lady. Let's go. And still low enough that I could afford it because I'm like, I'm not getting money from Chewbacca stuff at all.
So at this point, you're still not making...
No, I'm not an author. I'm not a speaker. I'm just going places that people invite me. And I'm like, thanks for the plane ticket, but now that I'm here, there's $40 valet. Where is that coming from? Like crazy stuff. I was like, everybody's like, she's making buku off this. And I'm like, I'm spending more money than I don't have to be able to pretend like I belong here. Stop. Anyway, so like those first few months were just chaos. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to go buy a dress. So I bought a dress that I felt comfortable in. But then the lady that's so cute behind the counter is like, you need some Spanx with that. And I'm like, excuse me, what's Spanx? I'm thinking, I'm not into that. And she goes, no, I mean, like, it's garments underneath that hold everything together and they smooth it out. And I'm like, I've looked in the mirror. I don't know how we're smoothing out. I don't use the phrase smooth it out when I look in the mirror and think, how are we going to smooth what out? And so I get Spanx and I'm thinking I'm prepared. I get to the hotel room. I've got maybe, 2 hours. They're going to do my makeup for me. So I feel confident about that. I'm like, okay, because I've done makeup maybe 5 times my entire life before then. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. Like on one hand, I could count how many times I tried makeup. And wedding day was one of them. Prom was another one. 3 more was probably just by accident. And so I get in the hotel room and I'm like, okay, I've got to be down there for this makeup lady to do my makeup. Okay, let's get the shower. I want to be smelling great, And I get to the point where I've got to try on these Spanx before I get my dress on. And I didn't realize there's like a cardinal rule that you have to follow is you have to be fully dry, like not damp, not have any moisture on you when you are putting on Spanx. And I mean, like, y'all, they just stick wherever that moisture is. And I'm just fully still damp from my shower trying to put these Spanx on, and they're just getting tighter and tighter as I'm pulling them. And then not only that, I'm trying to pull them up to the point that now I'm sweaty because I'm nervous that they're not coming on. So now I'm sweating in places that I've never really sweat before. And I'm sitting here thinking, this isn't working. And I call my sister into the room and I'm like, help. And she's like, you idiot. You need to put baby powder on it before you put it on if you're not fully dry. And I'm like, I don't have who has baby powder in their suitcase? And then if I did that with the amount of moisture that's still happening here, just naturally, I'm going to develop cottage cheese in places that shouldn't exist. And so I'm sitting there thinking, this is not going to work at all. Oh my gosh. And there's this whole fiasco. Finally got everything pushed in, smoothed out, whatever that means. All ladylike, and then put the dress on, and I'm like, let's go, I'm ready. And the whole night I was just sitting there, like, frustrated about the dress and thinking about the dress. And then when I went into the sea of celebrities and rando people, it just kind of made my mind forget about Spanx and all the other things, and I just literally had a blast that entire evening.
Did you get to meet some cool people?
Oh, man, yeah. I even got to go to the after party that they don't tell you about.
Oh, what is this after party? What's this like?
It was off location at an undisclosed place, and I had a ticket.
So this is a hush-hush thing that you can't talk about.
Well, I mean, you can talk about it. There's just celebrities there just hanging out and being like, hey, we didn't get to see each other and talk because we were working at the CMAs, but now we can talk and have some drinks and hors d'oeuvres. So
from that night, did you feel like that was something that kind of launched different interactions? Like you were able to like talk to, is that like maybe when you talked to James Corden or when you were able to connect with people that you were later to be like on their shows or...
So that was before. James Corden was before. Like,
oh, okay.
James Corden was like 2 or 3 days after the video went viral.
And you weren't already making millions at that point?
No. I remember I was just an idiot to travel. I mean, like I'm a stay-at-home mom that didn't really do anything other than just, go back and forth from the school to home and, maybe my favorite Walmart or Target run. But I mean, like, I just didn't know what it was like to fly. And so I had left Good Morning America in New York and had done an interview with Entertainment Tonight in the van on the way to the airport, which that was weird. They put you in a van and they're like, bye to my sister and put her in a van following us. And I'm like, I've been taken. Somebody call Liam Neeson. You know, I was like, oh, I don't feel safe right now. And so, I mean, like I had like this whirlwind of interviews that morning in New York. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'll have some time to sleep because that was GMA. That was early, right? Good Morning America's early. So I'm going to sleep this whole flight from New York to LA and then I'll get something to eat. Well, they offer a meal on the plane, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm sleeping. And then now I've realized I've gone like 12 hours without eating because I didn't realize that the flight from New York to LA was across the entire United States. Somehow in my mind, it just didn't make sense. So I thought it was just going to be like an hour or so. Idiot, right? So now I'm like starving, and I land and we get on the CBS studio lot for James Corden, and people are putting on makeup on my face and feeding me a sandwich and putting a straw in my mouth and having me eat something because I was like, I might pass out. I don't know what we're doing next, but I might pass out. I'm really hungry. And so literally that clip of me doing the carpool karaoke, they gave me a script and they were just like, could you do this? And it was stuff I'd already said in my video that went viral. So I was like, yeah, that's how I talk. So we're cool. I think I can recreate that. And so I get in on the lot, and they have like a van that looks like mine from home, and then I meet James Corden. I'm like, what is going on? And then we're doing it in the carpool karaoke little bit before the show, and then J.J. Abrams shows up in the back seat. I mean, it was just like I shushed J.J. Abrams as like the first thing I did because I couldn't like process what was happening. Like he was like trying to tell me, hey, I watched your video, and I go, shh. I need a second. Like I literally just shushed him and told him I need a second and almost passed out. Could have been because of the lack of food, but I think it's just because it was JJ. So I'd had those encounters. So I'd had like Robin Roberts and James Corden and JJ Abrams and all of that. And then I found out I was going to meet Peter Mayhew while I was there at the James Corden show. And so I knew that these doors were opening to be invited to tables that I normally wasn't invited at. And so celebrity became this idea of I could either meet these people and really just be a fan and just like ooh and awe and goggly eyes over everything they've ever done, or I could just be myself because they've invited me, and I could just be comfortable and confident in my own skin and maybe share something with them that'll make them happy. And so really that just kind of became like my whole personal motivation when I met whoever, is to not treat them any different than I would treat somebody that was waiting on me at a restaurant or checking my groceries or, And I think people just enjoy being treated like people. So it's kind of the mindset that I adapted. And then by the time the CMAs came, it was just so much fun getting to meet people and take pictures and getting to see who they were. Lauren Elena, the country artist, she comes in line behind me and she was like, I wanted to meet you. And I was like, well, hey, that's awesome, And Sadie Robertson, or Robertson Huff now, we were sitting like 2 seats apart from each other, and we shared popcorn and M&Ms and met that night and just became friends, Doug the pug was right next to me. That was what I was most excited about. It made my sister so mad because I just kept on holding him, and she was like, you're getting pet fur all over your nice dress. And I'm like, I don't care. It's a pug. It needs some loving. It was fun and enjoyable just to be around people and meet new people. And I mean, we photobombed Vince Vaughn a couple times. It was a blast. And like Pharrell spoke some incredible words to me just in passing. And so there was just stuff that was just happening at a fast, rapid pace. And if you get caught up in thinking that they're more than what they really are, you'll miss the moment, and that's kind of for everybody. And I say that in a big way, meaning that if you get caught up that your boss is more than what they really are, you'll miss the moments that you can with them too. Because your boss is just somebody that's authoritative, that gives you the instructions for what you need to do to make something work as a team, right? But you got to remember that that's not all that they are. They've got a family too, more than often, and they're a person that has struggles just like you, and it's just how you treat people, Hey,
y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow. That is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
Smash the like button on this video.